So the challenge of one of these nights of percussion, beyond months and months and months of preparation on learning these pieces, is the logistics that goes into this. This is not a symphony orchestra where the first chair violinist sits here for every piece and the basses are over here always. We're going to be doing some monumental set changes from time to time. I'll try to use that time to educate you guys a little bit about what's going on. What you just heard was Disguise. I'm not sure how many different, whoa, what were they doing or what was that sounds there are in that piece. But Cliff Walker, who's a friend of our band, he used to write our show. He lives in Kansas City, great guy. Has so many tricks in that piece. The more times you listen to it, the more times you can find, oh, he did something weird with this. From simple stuff like playing with the back end of sticks. We used puffy quad mallets on marimbas with a towel dampening some of the bar. We castanets, or sorry, cabasas that normally you go ch-ch-ch by twisting it. We were tapping the sides of things. Just using our own house audio system to play along with that. That's something that I've never done before, and it was pretty fun and exciting. All kinds of good stuff in that. And then that gets into the compositional ideas of how much he tried to obscure where the beat was. The entire piece, you think it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the very first thing you hear is 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're changing the perception of the beat and all kinds of fun stuff like that. All right, we're getting set up for this next piece called The Gilded Cage. Not The Gilded Age, The Gilded Cage. And it is kind of we could put a cage around these 4 drummers and let them go to work. But it's also in reference to the famous composer John Cage. John Cage, you know, probably known in philosophy classes for his piece 4 minutes and 33 seconds. But to percussionists, we know him for this piece called The Third Construction. Wonderful piece where he takes the ideas of a symphony orchestra where you have your woodwind section, your strings, your brass, and your percussion, and he turns it into drums or membranophones, metals, wooden instruments, and then he has some other stuff on there also. He treats it as an orchestra for 4 players. This piece had the opportunity to play at our district festival where they got an exemplary rating, and they went on just last week to Mizzou where they got a silver rating, which is outstanding. So they'll be getting started shortly with The Gilded Cage. right, great job, Caden. That was Caden Duong, one of our sophomores, who's been working on that piece. Yeah. And the notion behind that piece, Ivan Trevino is like the it composer in, percussion music that makes me smile these days. This piece, Strive to Be Happy, it comes from the last line of a poem from about 100 years ago, but that idea of strive to be happy. It doesn't say be happy, but having that goal, having that vision to do that. Caden has been working on that piece for quite a while. Just about every morning and just about every day during lunch, I'll hear him practicing that, and it's gotten so much better, and every time I hear it, I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling happier, and I hope that brought some joy to him as well. Caden played that at District Solo Ensemble, got an exemplary rating, took that to state, got a gold rating. He also went to our Missouri Day of Percussion, hosted by the Missouri Percussive Arts Society at Battle High School in Columbia, and got a 2 rating on that. So he's been playing that for a while. Really good to hear that one. Our next piece, one of my students asked, is there an ensemble that's just for cymbals? And I said, well, in fact, there is. In fact, there is. And it's great because the composer of this, Jessica Flanagan, dear friend of mine, I've known her for probably almost 20 years. When I was teaching the indoor drumline gateway, she was a member there, and now she's a very talented composer. And I've been kind of itching to play this piece for a while when I heard that there was a piece that called for every symbol under the sun and then some. And so that's basically what this is. Simplified is an opportunity to explore the colors and textures of about 17 billion symbols. And we're having a good time with this. All right, so they're still setting stuff up. What else can I stall with? This one's going to be followed by our freshman ensemble, and we'll hear them soon. All right, I'll let them finish setting up, and then they'll play Simplified for you. Do we need to be more? Sure. That's a lot of symbols. Hey guys, before you leave the stage, I didn't want to tell you before we started playing, but Jessica, you want to stand up for a second? Our composers here in the audience. Hey, thank you so much. All right, one more quick set change, then we move on to our freshman percussionists, the future of the program. This piece is a goodie. It's one that I enjoy quite a bit. It is about the Lewis Carroll poem, Beware the Jabberwock. If you're familiar with Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland, a lot of it's pretty weird, right? It turned into a Disney movie, but the source material is kind of absurd at times. I remember they made a TV version of this movie where the Jabberwock was this enormous dragon, and 4-year-old me was terrified of it. This piece goes along really well with the narration of the poem. Last time we did this piece, I tried to stumble my way through it, but there are so many made-up words that I really struggled. And so, we have a friend of the band and a current band parent, Mr. King, who's going to be reciting the poem for us, so enjoy.
'Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wave. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mome raths outgrave. Beware the Jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the Jub-Jub bird, and shun the frumious Bandersnatch. He took his vorpal sword in hand, long time the manxome foe he sought. So rested he by the tum-tum tree, and stood a while in thought. The Jabberwock with eyes of flame came whippling through the tulgey wood, and he burbled as it came. 1, 2, 1, 2, and through the vorpal blade went snicker-snack. He left it dead, and with its head he went galumphing back. And hast thou slain the Jabberwock? Come to my arms, my beamish boy! O frabjous day, Callooh, Calais, he chortled in his joy. Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wave. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mome raths outgrave.
I have no idea what he just said, but I liked it. Thank you, Mr. King. Hey, Mac, you want to come over here? One of my favorite parts of this night, whether you know it or not, this is the very last day of school for our seniors, the class of 2025. And so I do like to bring over all of our seniors one at a time to just make sure they get the accolades they deserve. I can brag on them a little bit. And yeah, so this is Max Saunders. He just played for you. I feel like he came up to me like the last week of January and said, hey, I think I'm going to go to college for music and I need a solo. What can I learn in a week and a half? And so I gave him that piece, knowing fully that he would do a wonderful job with that. And he's been playing it, earned a spot and some scholarship at the University of Central Missouri in Warrensburg for music technology and commercial music. He played this solo at District Solo Ensemble, got an exemplary rating. He played it again at State just last week and got a gold rating. So we're going to miss Mac, but he's done a wonderful job brightening every room. No, they should be setting up crystals right now. All right, so we should be setting up for crystals right now. Crystals to the stage, crystals to the stage. Oh, good. All right. As they're setting up, I wanted to introduce something really special, something exciting. For years, Solo and Ensemble Contest in the state of Missouri has been a wonderful opportunity for our kids to play stuff, to show off stuff, to grow immensely. But drum set was not counted as one of our valid, viable instruments. And that was always so sad, because I love playing drum set. So many of our students love playing drum set, and that's a big outlet for them. This was the first year that drum set was added to the state list. Our pal Jessica and her husband Neil back there were pivotal in making that change, so thank you big time for making this happen. But we had one soloist go to districts and to the day of percussion playing a solo. This solo is cool, it is at times brutal. It uses an audio track. It's going to play through the house sound. I knew that Saturn was a good drum set player, but seeing this one every time my jaw's on the floor. So sit back and enjoy. I'm going to help him just for a moment make sure the audio is working, and I had one of my percussionists say that they wouldn't mind telling a few jokes while I get a few things ready.
Hey everyone, me and Caden have some really funny jokes for you, so you have to laugh really, really loud because they're really funny, okay?
What's a percussionist's favorite movie?
Drum and Drummer! Just wait for the next one.
What's a drummer's favorite vegetable?
Beets!
Now, what's a percussionist's favorite type of workout?
Caden, this is kind of a hard one. I think the HIIT workout, hi-hat interval training.
You didn't?
Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
go, Saturn. That just makes me smile so much. All right, so this next one, there's some interesting things that I think they already have out. These students, I believe, went to a thrift shop or an antique shop and were asked to find various pieces of glass, pieces of crystal, pieces of something that they can make interesting sounds about. And so they've been joking for the last few months that they need to fill these up with ice cream. So maybe after the concert's done, we can do that. But this is going to be Crystals by a quartet from our symphonic percussion section. right, our next senior we're going to introduce is Hannah Thomas. Hannah, you want to come over? So Hannah has been involved in percussion for 6 years, for a long, long time. Has done winter guard, has been a section leader, trying out for cymbals at Mizzou, where they'll be attending next year studying animal sciences. And yeah, we're gonna miss you. You've been great. Thanks for everything. All right. Our next soloist is Cooper Beardsley, playing Land. And he'll get started real soon. So I try not to scare the kids away from the hard stuff. I wouldn't have dared play that piece as a high schooler, probably even as a college student. That's like a professional level piece, and he killed it. So way to go, Cooper. Cooper's one of our juniors. Yep. He played that for districts and got exemplary. He went on to state and got a gold. Yeah, Cooper's been having a great year. Our next piece, if you guys were at last year's concert, we did a medley of pieces from the game. What's the game? Undertale, right? Undertale. And I haven't played this one, but every time they talk more about it, the more I'm impressed with it. It's a video game that was made by a guy named Toby Fox. And when I say it was made by Toby Fox, it was entirely, completely made by one person. All of the coding, all the programming, the story, and the entire soundtrack, which at least Bradley over here is really, really into the soundtrack. He said he's already got something picked out for next year, doing another piece from Undertale, and as long as they're great pieces like this, we'll go along with it. So this is going to be video game music from Undertale, the spider dance. They said the spider it's a dance where you're maybe fighting the spider, but you're also maybe bribing her to leave you alone. I think I got that. All right, so enjoy. Lucy. All right. So we saved the Lucy for last. Our final senior of the night, Lucy Becker, has kept me on my toes for all these years, has been a constant source of smiles and exciting music and wild conversations, and we're going to miss Lucy. Lucy's going to UCM next year studying graphic design, and that piece was killer, and we're going to miss you. We're going to miss you. Thank you, everyone. As we get set up for our last piece, I did want to stop and thank quite a few people. So first of all, up in the booth, John, Chuck, Derek back here for making our show run smoothly. Thank you for all that. We have so many great music teachers here in the district, from elementary all the way up to high school, the band staff, the orchestra choir. It takes a pretty big village, and I work with some of the best in the biz, so that's excellent. Our administration, wonderfully supportive, appreciate all of them. Our support staff, custodial, we're going to do a good job making sure things are clean, but they do a great job as well. All of the current percussion parents, and I saw many of you out there, I've known you for quite a while, and you're doing good. Your kids are great, they're hardworking, they're insightful, they're expressive, and I sure appreciate every one of you. My family, back there, my wife and kids, my parents and my in-laws. Sure. And to our students, you make this the best job. It's awesome. I get to come to work every day and play and watch you guys do stuff that I never could have at your age. You constantly inspire. Our last piece is called Mayhem, and Mayhem is about a toddler. Daniel Montoya Jr. is a percussion instructor and a composer. He wrote this piece about his young daughter, Millie, and you hear the quote throughout, mayhem, Millie, mayhem, Millie, mayhem. That's what he had going through his head as he wrote this. She was, quite young, and for those of you all who are parents in the room, you know that age where, wait a minute, I haven't seen my kid in a few minutes, what are they up to? That's the idea behind this piece. There's lots of surprises, twists, and turns. At one point, we think maybe things are okay. And then more mayhem, and then she might take a nap and then wake up for more mayhem. But this one's been a treat to work with. When we finish this, I did ask all of the students to pitch in. Like I said, it takes a village to get this concert to work, to get everything around here. But there's, I think, a stand-up comedy show on stage tomorrow night. They rent this out to anyone and everyone. But we need to clear the stage. So before students are dismissed, everything goes back to the percussion room. Please and thank you. You're all welcome to help. Just let a student tell you how to move things. Some of this is pretty delicate. But thank you so much. This is our symphonic percussion section, playing Mayhem. Thanks for coming out. Happy Mother's Day this weekend. And if you want to pitch in, we could use some help.